doesn't it doesn't care if you're uh it doesn't discriminate. Hamilton County, we need clerk of courts here. And so I found in hold on a second, Hamilton County, and I found um in real estate that nobody cared about your past. They cared about, man, can you make it happen? Right. And so tomorrow's 20 years, man. And I got to tell you that I wouldn't have made it, man, like without God, without my wife. And see, I've been out of the system so long, I don't even know how to look up stuff anymore. Hold on. Okay. Name search. There we go. Um, there you go. Barger. Nate, there you go. And so I'm going to get my rights to bear arms back right now. And so, if we go to all rows, like these are, these are all mostly me, with the exception of Natalie, and so I went through a lot, and a lot of these were foreclosures in the last recession. These cases here, these are the felonies here. That's when I went to prison, like this probation. This is prison here. So you can open a docket and look. Drug trafficking, 1 to 3 times bulk, Department of Corrections. And I'm not telling you guys this because I'm proud of my criminal record. I don't care about it. I'm glad I went through it. But I'm here to share with you guys that no matter what you've been through in life, that does not determine your outcome, not one bit. And so, Amari, are you in prison, man? He got 440840. That's like a prison number. No, I'm just kidding, Amari. But hey, man, so my prison number was 316 and 336, right? And so it's okay because I got a guy that I mentored, still mentor, that was in prison for 17 years. He got out 90 days, got his first property. Why? Because the biggest thing to becoming wealthy is understanding that you've been indoctrinated your whole life. You've been taught to work your whole life, and it's not your fault. Like the school districts, the schools were very intentional. How can we have a country of 339 million people that all get up and do the same thing every day for 40 years? Come on, bro. Come on, man. Is that luck? And just so happens right at the 40-year mark, your body start breaking down. Come on, man. This is intentional. The system is set up and it's intentional to keep you broke. So when I tell people you can become a millionaire and retire in 5 years, the only reason I tell you 5 years, because if I told you 2 or 3, it would be too impossible for you to really believe. And if you can't really believe it in your mind, then you can't achieve it. And I got another guy, so many people, man. And when you get into, does anybody know about Maslow's hierarchy chart? Anybody in here? So there's a hierarchy chart, and I'm gonna share this with you guys, man. And so when I went to I had got this is some years ago, man. This was before I started doing social media, and I got a check. We got a check for like $5 million back, and it didn't do anything for me. I felt you think you would be excited, but I wasn't. There was no joy. And I guess I got to go back and tell you, when I was a kid selling weed, I was making about $242,000 a week profit. So I didn't have a lot of respect for money. I didn't have a lot of I really just didn't care about money a lot, I would say. And let me pull up this Maslow's hierarchy chart here. And so, but I also always thought that I would always have money. Well, that wasn't the case because I went bankrupt. I lost everything. Can you guys see this here? So here's what happens with people. First, they got to take care of the physiological needs, the breathing, the food, the water, the shelter, the clothing, the sleep. And you can't go from here to self-esteem because you got to then take care of your safety and security. You got to move up the chart. And it's not until you take care of your physiological needs, your safety and security, your love and belonging, your self-esteem. So when you guys hear people a lot of times and they talk bad about you, that's their self-esteem right there. And that's their love and belonging. So that's where they're at right there. They may be past safety and security. They may say, oh, I got money. Well, they don't have love and belonging. They don't have self-esteem yet. So they can't have morality, creativity, spontaneity, acceptance, experience, purpose, meaning, and inner potential. So you got to identify the players that are around you. Anybody in here play chess by a show of hands? Anybody in here play chess? Hey, can you guys take your cameras off, man? If I see you on the streets, man, I want to know who you guys are, man.
Turn your
Like,
cameras on. Turn your cameras on.
well, yeah. Did I say off?
Yeah.
I was looking at you and I was like, man, that's a bad picture. Nah, I'm just kidding. But you know, so when you identify the people that are around you and you start to understand why they're doing the things that they do, instead of getting angry and emotional about it, it's maybe having a true understanding of where they're at in their purpose in life. And so when you're on a journey to become successful, and like when I look back, and I can go back to my eighth, ninth great grandfather, they were always poor. They always were born poor, they died poor, but they worked their whole life, even up until, my grandpas had died. They worked, but they didn't leave anything. I mean, kids get a couple $1,000s a piece. I mean, come on, man. Like, dang, you could have bought one Bitcoin, we would have been doing better than that, you know? But why why is this common in America where we got more money than anywhere? I'm going to tell you, I think it's because of the school systems. You don't have to agree with me. But why is it that you think almost everybody ends up at 62 years old thinking they're going to retire and then saying, I think I'm going to put in a few more years? Say, well, why? Because I can get this extra money. I'm like, how much extra? It's not much. So what I'm going to show you all is how this is mathematical, okay? It takes some execution behind it, but the mathematical formula on how you do this. And these aren't great deals. So what are you guys struggling with? If you could just drop below. Is it, here's one of the common excuses I hear. Interest rates are too high. You can't burn this market. I can't find any deals. So all of a sudden, all the people that are dying, their houses are just, you can't find them anymore, right? All of a sudden, all these properties that you've been able to find for all these decades, they're no longer around. No. Come on, man. I can't find any construction people. I can't find any, no. What have you been through in life that's been rough? Like, the problem is you want somebody to knock at your door and do all the work for you. And when I mentor people, I tell people, look, recognizing good deal. Jim from Cleveland, I'll show you that, man. So Amari Wright credit. Look, man, I don't care nothing about your credit, man. Listen, 2013, when I came out of bankruptcy, brother, I had a 450 credit score. I had no money. I had no tax returns. In 2014, I was able to buy 28% of all the multifamily that traded in Cincinnati. How? Because I didn't have any excuses to make. I was already at the bottom. I had already went bankrupt. My wife was dependent on me at home. We had 2 babies. Like, what am I going to do? Go home and tell them, hey, man, it's rough out here. Sorry, guys. We're going to have to move out in the streets. Got to figure it out. And so I developed all these systems and processes through pain and struggle, the things that I share with you guys. so that you don't have to go through the pain and the struggle. By not going through the pain and the struggle, obviously, some of the stuff you're going to take for granted. I don't take it for granted because I know kind of what I went through. But I want to share with you what a deal looks like. My 17-year-old son did this deal here. He closes on this deal here. And let me go over here. He closes on this deal. Yeah. See this deal? Can you guys see this deal here? This is a deal analysis spreadsheet that I train people to use here. And so here's part of the process. It's a step-by-step flow chart. Step one, complete the property information under the residential calculator. So we come over here. This is the residential calculator here. It's you put in the yellow cells, the green cells auto calculate. So you're going to put in, I took the address off because we haven't closed on this yet. Now, for those of you that are in my mentorship, Caden presented this to you last Wednesday. You guys seen the address, but so you got the address, you got the square footage, and then you go to step two, complete the comparable sections. Okay, comparable sections are here. Okay, so we got this calculator figuring out it's worth $178.71 a square foot. The average is 1719 square foot, which is really close to that. The average sale is 303. So this one's worth 296. Okay. And we show you exactly how to do this step by step. Complete the finance percent, ARV and interest rate and number of years. So all this is very similar. I'm showing you how to find a good deal. This thing here does it for you. So you say he's gonna give me 75% ARV, 6.75. Actually, we can get about a 6.5 right now, probably a little lower. That's 30 years. Then we're going to go back over here, step by step. Complete the rent section. So we got a video. We show you how to find the rent, how to comp out the rent. This is kind of what we do. We found out that the rent for this property was $2,200 a month here. And we found out that this property had a 95% occupancy. So we put that in there too. And then we go back to the complete the sections under the Dscr tab. So we go over here to the Dscr tab. We fill this out. Our advertising, our insurance, we pull all this stuff. So it cost us $6,696 a year to run this property. This is before debt service. So we kind of go through this step by step and we build out this. I mean, it's a, very methodical system. This is the same thing we used to buy, 20, 30, $50 million buildings. But what I did is I condensed it down to the people that want to buy single family homes and really understand how to buy this step by step. And we show them how to do all this. And then, we go through like the maker's schedule is kind of, this is where you figure out your construction costs. And we show you like kind of what you should be paying in your area. We have local city groups, like 41 of them around the country. Donald's at 41 of them we got?
Yeah, it's either 40 or 41.
And these local city groups, they'll meet up together, they'll network, they'll partner together. I know Michelle Marion was on a couple of weeks ago. She got in 14 months ago into our private mentorship, and she never had any properties. I think, man, she's up to 70 because she partnered with some people that are in the academy. She's actually the local city president of Greenville. And so understanding these true expenses here and understanding, your total makers, it's complicated. If I went down into this, I would lose you, right? But that's why this is I show you guys this stuff because I want to show you how you can do it, right? But really, you need a lot of guidance on this. It's very methodical the way you got to do this. If not, you screw it up because your most important part over here is going to be your appreciation and getting that right. Because you see this property will go from 296 to 360 in 5 years, and the rent will go from 26.4 to 30,884, and the expenses will go from 66.96 to 78.33. But if you look at our debt service coverage ratio, it's climbing. And for those of you that don't know what the debt service coverage ratio is, this is your ability to pay all your expenses and your mortgage and have a percent left. So anything over 1 is what's left. So this is 100% of your mortgage plus 9%. That's going to be a tight deal. A lot of lenders aren't going to cover that. So what we'll do is we'll come back over here and we'll say, in order to make this a perfect burr, we know it's worth 296, 650. We know we can rent it out for 2,200. That's $26,400 a year in rent. And drop down here. 5% vacancy is going to put us at 25,080. We know our expenses are 6696, which leaves us 18,384 a year. Now let's go up here and let's figure out how much our mortgage is going to be. It's going to be 140628 a month. And if we look at our debt payment, 1406 times 12, we ain't hitting this 1.09. So what's that mean here? That means that our maximum purchase plus renovation, which we have paid the 222, will minus out our construction cost. It will minus out our closing cost. It will minus out our holding costs. These are all what's called soft costs. This is where many people mess up in the game. It'll minus out our utility bills. These are costs associated with the project while we are getting this project up and running and stabilized. This before we rent it. Our lease up fee, we could probably take that out if we wanted to, cutting grass, can't really take that out. That's going to have to happen. Insurance while vacant, that's going to have to happen. Property taxes, and I got a 20% contingency. You may want to, you may take it down, but I wouldn't. I don't take mine down because I don't, if I'm wrong, I want to have the money. I'd rather do no deal than do a deal that's potentially bad. But let's just say this deal here, my max offers 141, 343. Got accepted price for 70 grand. So when I go to burr it, it's got a 1.09. I can't do that. The lender's looking for 1.2. So it means I can't borrow 75%. I may have to go to 68%. What's that mean? Boom, 68%, I hit a 1.2. What does that mean? That means that when I go to buy this property, we're going to buy it for 70,000. We're going to put 58,000 in construction costs, which is detailed and broken out over here. New windows, glass block, plumbing, shingles, new roof, HVAC system and install, which this price actually is down because we went through and inspected it. We were assuming this price is way down here, so we're going to save some money there. Concrete blacktop, that's good. Doors, $200 a door times 13 doors. That's probably 300. I'm going to take that to 300 there. Framing, not any framing, but we're going to put something in the budget. So all I'm saying is we detail this. We could do this within, there's people in our private group, Adam Latique, he ran into a portfolio of about 40 of these. And I think he got his time down to fill out this sheet to about 5 to 7 minutes. Because once you build out these formulas, and then so what you're able to do is literally run through the property, go out in your car, sit in there, put this sheet together, and have a solid offer together within 20, 30 minutes. You're not waiting weeks for a contractor to call you back. Because we already know contractor pricing. And we got city groups all across the country that have vendor lists. And this is kind of what, how we built out our system. And so jump back over here to the residential calculator. So my purchase price got it for 70, 53,000 in renovation now, 1,500 in closing cost. How we get closing costs so low, I'll tell you that later. I'm buying this property with credit cards. It's for my 17-year-old son. I got these 0% credit cards for those of you that were on our coaching call last week. You guys know how to get them. I got $93,500 worth of 0% credit cards for between the shortest one's 9 months and the longest one's 18 months, which will be enough time to do this whole property here. So that's why our holding cost is so low. I mean, our closing costs, our holding cost, while vacant, actually shouldn't be that much either. At first, we were going to run 11% and 2 points on this. So that'll get changed, which will give us even more money back. Utilities while vacant, that's active, grass cutting. So basically, that's your all in on this property is going to be, we're going to do a loan at 201. We're going to get 56,000 back at closing. because we're only in it for 149, 150. So no, 145. So we're gonna get 56,000 cash back tax free at closing. And we're still gonna have, so we'll have 151,000 in equity. 56,000 of that'll be cash, the rest of it'll be equity in the property. Let's see what our yearly cash flow will be. Our net cash flow will be $3,084. Cash flow will be $257 a month. And our one-time tax write-off or bonus depreciation is going to be $10,714. Let me go look at this. That is assuming 40%, but I think this is going to go back up to 100% this year, which will give us, instead of that, that'll give us $26,785 tax write-off. So you guys understand what this means? And we'll get a total year one basis depreciation of 3462. So we'll get a tax write-off, 30,247 year one, and 151,000 equity. 56,000 as cash. The rest of it is going to be equity in the property. And then it gets even better because if you buy in the right area, watch what happens year 6. We go to refi at 75%. Let's say we're going to keep it at 6.5%, right? We have a 1.41 debt service coverage ratio here, which means we can, no, it drops to a 1.04. So we can't do 75%. We can only do, let's say 70. Okay. 70, can't do it. So we're going to have to do 65% here. 65% will get you there, which means your new borrow amount will be 245, 246. Your new monthly payment will be 1555. Your loan balance will be 189. You'll cash out another 57 grand. So you're up $113,000 in this one property. And so this is kind of what we teach people to do over and over and over again. This is my son. He put this schedule together. Here's all the costs. Here's, what he needs. He put all this together, man. He's 17. 2 dumpsters, 30 yards, 5 guys, 2 days, $3,600. The guys are $250 a piece for the demo guys. They're probably less than that because we can get them from a temp service for 22, 23 an hour. But, this is the type of data that you guys should be doing before you buy a house. And if you're not doing this, you're not forecasting what your rent growth is going to be. You're not forecasting what your appreciation is in the area. You're not looking at the data. I don't even know how. I can't buy like that. I tell Donald that every day. If I don't have data, I can't make decisions. So this is why the people that I break this system down to are so successful, because it's so data driven. We're not looking at what happened in the past. I could care less about what happened in the past. What I care about is, what are the patterns? Where are we at in the cycle? And what does this area look like? So drilling down into the exact zip code, right? So when you drill down into the exact zip code here, let me jump over here real quick and I'll pull you up this this economic report here. We start drilling down into these zip codes. We're forecasting out, 3, 4, 5 years. We're not looking at this year. We're looking at rent growth. We're looking at sales volume. We're looking at stuff that's going into the future. We're looking at deliveries and demolitions that are going to already happening on the books. We're looking at the market rent, where it's going, by 3-bedroom, by 2-bedroom, 1-bedroom, etc. Right? We're looking at market rent per unit and rent growth. And so when you're looking at data and making data-driven decisions, you're never going to be 100% accurate, but you're going to be a lot more accurate than guessing. And then we don't just take that data, we tie that data into, and look, man, this is just what I want you guys buying. If you buy like this, it's almost like taking the data and the information and buying stocks. You think Warren Buffett would just go buy a stock? So we break down real estate just like he breaks down stock, right? And when you do this, your level of understanding the financial system. And I got Jeremy. What's going on, brother? Hey, take Jeremy Hughes off.
Let me find you, Jeremy, one sec.
Yeah.
Gotcha, Jeremy. There you go, bro.
Yeah, guys, this is so look, man.
Hey, brother.
What's going on, Jeremy? How you doing, man?
Good to see you, brother.
Man, good to see you, man. Hey guys, I want to tell you about Jeremy, man. You joined my mentorship last August, I think?
July, yes, sir.
July, okay. And so Jeremy, um, I mean, your whole life's been transformed, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, go for it.
now go ahead, brother.
Yeah, so it was June, July, something like that. I can't remember, to be honest with you, because I didn't really take it seriously, to be honest with you. I got into it, didn't really get into the reading, didn't get into the education on it. I got really motivated, and I decided to go to Birth 360 last year, 2023. And then during and after Birth 360, 2023, my life changed.
Hold
I
on,
was
Donald. Donald,
Yeah.
find his picture. Find his picture, man, that we had down there. And so when I first met Jeremy, okay, it was July 20th to 2023, Jeremy. So when I first met Jeremy, he came down, he drove through the night from Milwaukee. Because we asked our
Yes.
academy students, we said, hey man, anybody ain't got a ticket? We'll give you a ticket if you come down and volunteer. And that's him right there. He's not really that short. I'm just really tall. Okay.
Nate's very tall.
It is
Yeah,
tall.
I got my stilettos on. And so all right, Donald, you can take it down and don't look that good. All right, so I was looking for the Photoshop one, man.
Oh, you mean the one where we look real stellar, right? That one.
Yeah, that one. What's up, son? How you doing, man?
Yeah, man. So I really wanted to go, but I put, every dollar that I had into making a decision to invest in my family, invest in my future. And I didn't have any money at the time, right? And I said, you know what? If you guys are willing to give me the opportunity to donate my time and volunteer, and give me a ticket, that's all I need. I just need to get in that room, right? Once I get in that room, I know that I'm gonna be all right. And once I did, I learned so much. I learned so much from the academy. I learned so much from Nate and Jirius, and then just the culture and the support that are around everybody in the group. And not to toot my horn, but man, I've been killing it since. It's just a whole new energy. It's a whole new life that I have. That since then, I'm a different person. So since after Birth 360,
Which was
of
September
2023.
of that was
23.
September of 2023.
Right. So since then, I now have about $3.5 million of real estate investments right now, and I started with $0, zero credit. I mean, I had less than zero credit. I got my identity stolen, so my credit was all bunked up. And I don't come from a rich family or anything like that, so I didn't have money.
Oh, come on, man. You know you a silver spoon, baby.
Yeah, yep, not too far from the projects. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But
the one thing that you did have, brother, and listen, man, this is the mindset you need, everybody. This is it right here. Jeremy's, are you a millionaire today?
I have the net worth to be one. Yes, sir.
So explain on what net worth means.
Basically, what I owe, what everything is worth, all my investments are worth versus how much I owe. You subtract the two, I have a positive net worth in the millions.
Yeah, so look, he has $3.5 million worth of real estate, and you owe about 1.92 million worth of debt, right?
Correct.
So look, don't need money, you don't need credit. You do need one hell of a hustle, though. So when I saw him, he drove through the night Milwaukee, and I asked him, I said, what hotel you staying at? He said, I'm sleeping in my car.
Yeah, that's what I gotta do. That's what I said I was gonna do. Yep.
And I was like, what? And I don't know how. I told him to get you a hotel. I hope you didn't sleep in your car, did you?
No. You
hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Hey, how you doing? What's up, buddy? How you doing? You hanging out with Dad?
Parker, who is that? Who is that?
Yes.
Who is that guy right there?
It's a secret.
Yep. He always goes, is that your brother? And I was like, yeah. Because now he's a family to me, right? That's my brother.
But why in the bottle?
Because
he said, why is he white, Dad? No.
What? Nah. He's my brother because, brothers aren't always the family, right? They're also people who they take care of each other, right?
Here,
All right, bud. Give me a minute, okay?
you're making boba.
Be over there in a minute, okay?
I had to make
No,
boba.
hey,
thank you.
Jeremy, come on, man. Hang
Yes,
out with
sir.
your kid, man. That's why we
No,
do this, man.
I'm going to. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But I've been able to get that time though, and that's the nice thing is, yes, I'm hustling, I'm grinding, but the coolest thing is that I get to take my kids now to my job sites, to my properties, to houses that I'm looking to buy, and they go, "Why are we here?" I go, "Daddy's looking to buy this house," and they go, "Another one?" I'm like, "Yeah, another one." And then let me share you the coolest thing that has happened to me since then. Right, this is honest to God, hands down. I could share the picture with you. The coolest thing that has happened to me since this has happened, besides getting hang out with you, of course, was last
Stop it,
night.
man.
Everything kind of every one of these days I'll tell a good story for about me getting to hang out with you. But last night, so this is everything coming into fruition. Some people know me that I bought this big house. I'm calling it my mansion house. And we're almost done with it right now. It's got an indoor pool.
Tell them about the
We had to
numbers,
complete-
brother.
Okay, so we bought the house. It's an old mansion in Milwaukee area. Bought it for $425,000. We're gonna have about $250,000 into it, and it should be worth about 1.4 to 1.5 million. And it's gonna be like a super Airbnb. The numbers on it are absolutely killer, absolutely killer. So we're gonna wipe on the floor. Either way we do it, it doesn't even matter. It's gonna be a home run. And we're burning it just like we would any other project, any other property. We're still burning it, right? We still have to have all the exit strategies. We had to have all of our plan. We have to have, our numbers down pat. And that's what I did. I learned it. I learned it from Nate. I used the spreadsheet that he's showing you guys right now. I was blessed to have a little bit of input on making that spreadsheet work before he gave it out to everyone. So I was able to run it on that spreadsheet and all my numbers worked, and I've been killing it on it, right? But basically, my fruition of this was last night at about midnight, I took the kids into the swimming pool. We drove to the swimming pool. We drove to the mansion in the middle of that, and they were the first ones to go in the swimming pool. So we were swimming in our indoor pool in this mansion that we own that is now $1.5 million house, or going to be $1 million house in a few weeks when it's all done. And it was like, it's the coolest thing. It come from nothing to like, I own a little mansion that is mine. I can use anytime I want, of course. And we're swimming in the swimming pool at midnight. And it's the coolest thing. It was cool to be able to see my kids, to see all my hard work and, some time gone and all that like, they're like, we own this house and we're swimming in an indoor pool in a mansion, brand new pool, everything. We gutted it. And it was cool to see that. So kind of everything into fruition from, September, just a little bit of time, because
less than a year, man.
you give me the right information, you give me a path, I'm gonna go until that path changes, and I got to keep going to the next one, growing and growing.
Man,
So,
I can't
it's a
tell
cool
you how
thing.
I can't tell you how proud of you I am, Jeremy, because Jeremy, we talked about the Maslow's hierarchy chart before you came in, I think. And what Jeremy sent me last week. So Jeremy was so excited. He learned so much. He met people at the Bird 360. Two of them who are now his partners, financial partners, and they didn't care about his credit. They said, dude, with the amount of commitment that you got, the amount of knowledge, they invested in Jeremy, right? Become investable. Don't think you need money or credit. And here's why. Because a lot of people have money or credit, they're not investable. I wouldn't invested time with them. But you give me somebody that's going to go out here. Jeremy, last week I called him and he said, I'm a little tired. I was out till 3:00 last night, jackhammering the pool. That same pool they were swimming in this week. Right? 3 a.m, jackhammering it. How can I not bet on a guy like that, man? Come on. You can't keep a guy like that down, right? And so that's what it really takes if you want to know. If you want to mentor, I can mentor you. But that's what it takes. If you want to become a millionaire in a year, that's what it takes. Right?
It's true.
No excuses. No excuses. I can't do that for you.
No.
I can
Nope.
help you work on your mindset, and I definitely do that. But I can give you the data and information. But I'm not going to do it for you because here's why. What happens when I die? You know, I don't want to do it for you. I want you to learn how to do it so you can give it to your kids. I don't want your kids. And look, man, I want to be clear. I'm not talking bad about anybody that went to college. But if I told you right now, the goal for my kid is to go somewhere where he has a 41% chance of making it. That's college, 41% chance of graduation. And then if he does make it, he's going to, makes it through bachelor degree, he's going to make $52,000 a year after taxes, going to have 38 or 39,000. He's not going to have enough money to live. Come on, man. Why? I don't want that for my kid. So I remember Jeff Murdoff. I interviewed him when he first came in, and he was grinding, and he ended up hitting a plug, man. He hit a plug. When I say a plug, everybody, like he was in the academy, he was grinding every day. He was about 3 months in, and it was strenuous. He was calling people every day. He couldn't get nothing. He ran into one guy, one property. Guy wanted to retire and got 29 units, and it made him a millionaire. Right? So
That's all it takes. That's all it takes.
That's all it takes. And so Jeremy,
same thing when if you start, you got no money. It's same thing. You start, you got no money. You keep grinding. That one property that shows that success. Like, let's see your person. And I know a lot of people who go into academy are probably two different ways, or who go into real estate investing in general. I either got money and don't have the education to do anything with it, nor do I want to be the person on the ground, or hey, I want to do anything I can possibly do and grind, but I got no money, right? I was obviously the latter one of that. But once you find a property, you show success and you show you're that grinding person, somebody's going to invest in you. If it's a money thing, I know there's a lot of people out there looking for money. Once you show that you are investable, people will throw money at you. And it's crazy. It's true, though.
And you met both your investors. They live in different states, and you met them in the academy, right? And so
I bought houses with them before we even met. Yes.
Yeah. Well, you guys
that's how much trust they had to have in me.
Did you meet them at the Bird 360, or did you meet them in the academy?
So I met them both in the academy, and I've met one of them. We met at Bird 360. So we talked a little bit before Bird 360, and then we met at Bird 360, and then we bought a house together. And then the other one, I met only in the academy, and then he had seen things through Bird 360, whatnot. We actually had talked on the phone a bunch, Zoomed, all that other fun stuff. But we bought something before we ever physically met in person. So we actually ended up buying 2 houses together before we ever physically met in person, which takes so much trust and so much other things to go with it. But when you show that you're that investable, and obviously you have to show that you're trusted and trustworthy, and there's a lot that goes in on both sides, don't get me wrong. But once you get to that point, it doesn't matter if you're on the across the country that way, across the country this way. As long as people are getting what you say you're going to do in your part of the bargain, that's all that matters.
And Jeremy, like, 2 more things, man. So when Jeremy came back from the Bird 360, he had this renewed sense of energy. And we didn't have a city group in Milwaukee at the time. City groups are, Jeremy, can you kind of tell him what because he's the city group president for Milwaukee. Can you tell him kind of what that does, what you guys do as city group presidents?
Definitely. So, we take what the main group, what you're doing, and what we get in the main private group, and we just put it more focused on a localized level. So all those concepts and all the, analysis on projects and trying to find the right areas to invest in, all that, we just put it on a local level. Go, hey, okay, so you're talking about, in the United States, we want to find this area. Okay, well, now we're talking about Milwaukee specifically. We all grew up here. We all know that. So how do we apply these basics, or how do we apply these high level metrics to our local area, as well as, hey, does anybody have a contractor for this? Or, hey, I've had a bad contractor situation with this one. Let's, maybe just share that so we don't get burdened on that. Or, hey, did you guys see this new development come in? Okay, great. Let's all talk about it. Let's see if this makes sense to maybe try to invest over there. We just bring what the the main group is doing to a personalized local level.
Yeah, and they do meetups in person. Like they'll walk through properties, they'll break down the construction costs. He even told me the mansion that they got, it's got an indoor pool. He said, Nate, if you guys want to have a meetup in here in the wintertime, come on up and we could stay at the mansion. And I'm thinking, do I really want to go to Milwaukee in the winter? But man, I don't know if we lost Jeremy, but sounds like he has to take care of his kids. But listen, when I tell you guys that 1 year can change your life, you have to be committed to massive action. You have to get all the roadblocks out of the way. You have to get all the excuses. What you have to do is you have to write down the things that are holding you back. And then you got to write the person that has that solution. So if it's knowledge, I got the knowledge, I can help you out. Now you can get on these calls. We got training programs that are free, but I'm telling you, in our mentorship, we got 4 or 5 coaching calls a week for the rest of your life. We got city groups like that. We got, we got accountability coaches. We got a 13-week course that will walk you through and show you step by step by step by step. Yes, we have city groups in South Carolina. The Michelle Marion, I don't know if she's in here. She joined the academy 14, 15 months ago. She got 70 units now. Okay. Yes, we got people all over the country, everybody. This stuff is not magical. It's mathematical, and it takes so the fear that holds people back is because fear is not a bad thing. It's telling you, hey, man, there's something wrong ahead, and I don't know how to deal with it. So fear is an indicator that there's something that could cause damage, and you don't know how to deal with it yet, or maybe you don't even know what it is. So that's what we're really able to do at our level. Is I've done about $500 million in BRRRRs myself. And I own today somewhere between probably 260 and 280 million in real estate. And I started off buying $5,000 houses. And I did it all wrong. I went bankrupt 11 years ago. And so, but Jeremy shared with me last week a new girl that just got into the academy, and he's the president, Milwaukee. She messaged him. She needed a little help. He turned on the title company. She's making $20,000 off her first deal, just wholesaling it. She was like, oh my God, she didn't even know what she was doing, but she got out here and she believed in herself. She's making $40,000, but she has to split it with somebody. And so the reason I'm telling you guys real estate, man, is because I've become very wealthy off of it. And I've seen a lot of people around me become very wealthy off of it. And none of these people I know a couple of them that were Ivy League, but for the most part, they were just hardworking people that come from hardworking families that were tired of working hard for somebody else and decided to take a chance on themselves. So I don't know if Jeremy's going to jump back in here, but I want to give you guys an opportunity. If you haven't had our 5-year roadmap, which will show you step by step by step how you're going to become a millionaire. And it's not millionaire. It's about actually, the number's about 2.5 million if you do it right. Now, listen, this is forecasting. And at any time, we could have a problem in the economy. We can. But what I want you to understand is this. We're not sellers when the economy goes down. We're buyers. And when the economies falter, never in history has rent went down. So what we're looking to do is hang on to these assets as they go up in value. Anybody in here know why they are likely, very likely to go up in value?
I'm back if you need me, Nate.
Jeremy, why are properties likely to go up in value?
What was it? Why are properties likely to go up in value?
Yeah, if you identify the right area.
If you're getting the right appreciation, they're always going to go up. I mean, if neighborhoods are going up, projects are happening, for a lot of different ways. What are you specifically thinking?
But what is driving that, though? What's always driving your economy?
Up or down? What's driving my economy?
No. What's driving? There you go. What kind of jobs, though?
New jobs.
Basic
industrial jobs, new jobs, industry. Yeah.
So so if I said right now, Jeremy, in Milwaukee right now, what new jobs have you guys had coming in that's driving your economy?
Amazon, huge Amazon facilities.
Yep. And so what are those? Those are
That's the big one. That's the big one.
And do you know about how many people they're going to employ when they're done?
They just finished building them and they're up and running ready, but there was a few new 1,000 jobs that came in, but then it also brought in the infrastructure because they required that we make our roads bigger. So our highway from into Illinois into Chicago, they went from 3 lanes to like 5. So then we had huge like construction coming in and construction going out, and that was a lot of extra jobs on top of it.
So when you're saying Amazon, is it the data centers or is it the actual hub that distributes the product?
It's both.
So what you guys
It's
don't
both. So
know
at first
is
they started with a distribution and then they built the other hubs on top of it. So we actually have multiple ones here now.
So what you guys don't probably maybe not know about Amazon is they are the largest and I could be wrong. Somebody can call me out on this. But I believe they are the largest cloud-based server in the country. I forget what it's called, Amazon something. But they're the ones that have all the storage. So they got these data centers all around the country. They're Mari said it, AWS, right? And so we think of Amazon as just they deliver packages. Nah, man, that's tech. So all these big distribution hubs that they're building that are going to hold all the information for AI, this is the next level stuff that is going to push the job market in your economy. And so let me just jump over here and hey, thank you. Oh, Jeremy, share with them, Jeremy, real quick, and then I'll let you go, man.
Yes,
I didn't know you were popping on, but I appreciate you, brother. The girl who just joined maybe 3 weeks ago.
Oh yeah, in Milwaukee that just had that win.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So Milwaukee local member, very new, started, she said, hey, how do I start? She wanted to do wholesaling. I recommend it to everyone to start, to learn the process, but also keep going on it. She said she messaged me a few days ago or last week, and she said, hey, I just want to say thank you. And thank you for your guidance. She's like, I want to tell you about a big win. And I'm like, all right, I'll tell you what's going on. What's going on? And she said, I just finalized my first wholesale deal. I think it was for $30,000, no, $40,000. And she's going to split it with her friend. So she's going to take $20,000. And she said, everything you taught me and everything the academy taught me and the guidance you guys gave me, I landed my first deal and I've only been doing it for a short period of time. So it was.
What is
cool
she like?
win.
She's 3 weeks, right? She's been in the academy 3 or 4.
Yeah, I think a month or 2. It hasn't been a ton of time, but it's only been a month or 2. And she's a full-time nurse, I believe. So she doesn't do this full time. So this is kind of like one of her first real jabs into real estate investing was this part. So that was really super cool to see that, our group in general can help somebody so quickly, as well as somebody who's not a real estate investor, who's not, from this background. That me personally too comes full circle because, I've only been doing this for so long myself. And just from what I've learned from you and the academy and everyone else, I was able to now teach that to someone else, or at least help guide, not teach. You do all the teaching. So.
Nah, dude, it's not me, man. We got 41 presidents across the country that help us run these cities. And they put together meetups and they take them out to and let me tell you one more thing about Jeremy. So I was doing a live call and do live calls every week, and we do deal analysis. And we got one tomorrow from 12:30 to 4 o'clock. Actually, we got 12:30 to 1, 12:30 to 2. I'm doing a deal analysis. 2 to 3, Jerry's doing a coaching call, and from 3 to 4, we're going to show you guys how to find off-market deals. That's just one day. That's what we do in our academy. And so I found a property, and it wasn't you, Jeremy. Somebody said, hey, I want you to look up this zip code, and it was west of Milwaukee. And I start digging in, and I was like, dude, something's going on out here. Like I saw the values were popping. Like there were 120, and then there were $400,000 houses in this neighborhood. I was like, something's popping out there. Like we need to get boots on the ground. And I found a property, and I called the lady on the live. And Jeremy was on the live, and 20 minutes later, Jeremy's at the house with the code, not from that realtor, from somewhere else, walking the property, showing the academy students. That's what it takes. Massive action, network support. And you put an offer on that house, right?
Yes, it fell
get-
through because they had some foundation things, but we were there. I had the opportunity to do it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, thank you for everything you do, man. I love you, brother. I really do, man.
I love you
I'm
too,
really
man.
proud of you,
Thank
man.
you.
And I'm
Appreciate
really
you.
proud of you because you've changed not just your life, but your kids, man. And their kids, right? And so my advice to you, brother, is just finish what you got going. You got a lot of projects, finish them out strong. That
Yes,
Airbnb
sir.
is going to bring you in 150, 160,000 net a year, right? Is that net or gross?
Yeah, no, that's gonna be net.
Come on,
That's
man.
our first year though. That's our first year on it. So we're gonna evolve. We're gonna grow. We're gonna make sure that we keep getting bigger.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna complain over 150 net a year in my first year of doing that and being a year and a half into being a real estate investor at that point. I'm gonna take that every day all day.
How much did you save on that roof? Because we showed you step by step how to break the roof down too.
Oh man, the roof.
13,000.
So from my highest
Look, your wife knows the
quote that
number.
I
Come
got
on, bro.
was $130,000.
Huh?
She does, but that was actually only on materials she was talking about. So I saved $13,000 just on the materials itself. But but by
See,
being
behind
selective,
every
by
successful
making sure
man, hey, Jeremy, listen, man, I can attest to this. Behind every successful man is a woman that believes in him. You got to have that,
this
man.
is true.
Yeah.
Dude, man, and I told you this the first time I met you, and you can attest to this. First time I met you, I said my wife is the biggest supportive rock that I have. When I told her, hey, I want to invest in this Bird Investment Academy thing, and I want to spend the little bit of savings that I had, for us to learn this and put our whole savings into it. I said, because it's going to change our life. And she goes, all right, I trust you. And I'm going to have to trust this Nate Burger guy or whatever it was too.
When I met him at the Bird 360, he was looking up at me. He said, I told my wife that this was going to change our life. And I thought, oh boy, because it will. But like I said, I can't do the work for you. But Jeremy, he puts the work in. He is you're an awesome man, awesome husband. Thank you for everything you do, man. And look at your kids, man. They're soaking it up too, man. Hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
Say hi.
Hi. Good.
Hey, you enjoy going to the houses with your dad?
Hey, what did we do last night?
Oh yeah, we go to the mansion
And what did we do?
and we swim in a swimming pool because my dad and his workers fix it.
That's awesome, man.
Yep.
That's winning right there. And listen, guys,
Yes,
it can happen that quick, man. But it can't happen that quick if you're not willing to get the excuses out of your head. If you're not willing to get the right knowledge and around the right people, it's going to take you decades and decades. This stuff is not stuff you can Google. It's not stuff you can Google. This is, 20, 30 years of my failures put together, right? So, hey, man, I love you, brother. Thank you, man. Get back to your kids, man. Go. Why don't you head back over to the mansion, man?
Now I'm done. I'm done for that. I'm going to spend that time with the kids. I was gonna throw one thing out there. Nate didn't ask me to come on this call. I came on this call because I
didn't even know you were gonna be on here tonight, man. But
right, and I didn't expect to be talking to you either. So I was spiffed up a little bit. But everyone just keep grinding and keep learning. And if you got to keep learning the same thing 3 times, 4 times, how many times I've heard Nate do the same exact presentation and not presentation, but like analysis. The same stuff because I can only get better at it. I'll see it as many times as I can possibly need to, and I'll still keep seeing it. And I'll keep learning and keep growing. So keep grinding and keep learning.
Hey, how many square was that roof you had to do on a mansion?
65.
And so,
but we also had to rebuild half of it, and part of it was a flat roof that we pitched that had completely trussed out and pitched on the gutters, everything. And almost all of it was new plywood.
And so I remember you said that you had your guys set up for Saturday and they couldn't get the materials there. What did you do?
Yeah, I grabbed my big old flat industrial trailer and I put a pallet or two on each one, and a pallet or two, and then I made truck drives all the way back and forth all day with pallets of this heavy shingles.
So I'm telling you
That's what I
guys,
had to
man,
do.
if you guys are up to do that, I can show you how to become a multimillionaire. And if you're not up to do that, and keep working on yourself, man. I'm just telling you, man, if you're ready to go, let me mentor you, man. I'm not going to let you down, man. I'm not. I promise you I won't. And when our mentorship is life. Thank you, Jeremy. Everybody give him a round of applause, man. That man has overcome so much. Jeremy, thank you for all you do, man. You're an inspiration to many others. And that's just one of the success stories we have. There's so many, man. So man, that's tough to follow up, man. That's tough to follow up. That is. Um, and you know my story, man. I went through a lot too, but I don't need to go there. Like Jeremy is just that's what makes your day, man. That's what makes your life. These success stories that we hear like that, they happen every day in our academy. We got over 2,500 students in there all across the country. They network together, they buy together, they analyze areas together, they share contractors, they share answers. And a lot of times, I mean, I'm in there every day answering questions, but there's by the time I get to it, there's 5, 10, 15, 20 other people that have already answered that got a lot of experience and that are crushing it. And we've had over 100 people become millionaires in our academy since I started this 3 years ago. And many, many more that are well on their way to becoming millionaires. Over 60 people quit their W-2 jobs to pursue real estate full time. This isn't rocket science. This is, are you willing to get out here? You willing to put the work in? You willing to get the knowledge? You willing to get the effort? And like Terrence said, future millionaire. So every one of my videos, my first academy, always said, welcome future millionaires. Now I got to say, welcome future and current millionaires. And that feels good, right? And so thank you, Jeremy. Love you, brother. So look, man, I'm gonna give you guys a chance, man. If you guys want to hear more about our mentorship, get on the call to see if it's a good fit for you and you think you're ready. If you know this is the way, just say mentorship below, and then I'm gonna answer some questions for you guys, man, because I just want to answer some questions tonight, man. I'll run you guys back through anything that you want to hear.
Yeah, and like Nate mentioned earlier, if you want access to that free breakdown of the 5-year roadmap, the blueprint, that video, just comment video in the chat, and we'll send that to you as well. But you ready to dive into some questions, Nate?
Yeah, I'm ready to dive into some questions, man. And listen, man, I'm ready to dive into some questions. Throw your hardest questions at me if they're Burr related. Now, look, here's what I want to focus on. I buy large buildings now. I don't want to focus on that. With my academy students, I like people that have, that are starting off. Maybe you got 20 units, maybe you got 50, maybe you haven't learned how to scale. I can help you out. Multifamily, I'm not going to do that in this academy here because I want everybody to stay focused on the same wavelength. So if you got some questions that are related to that, man, I'd love to answer them for you.
Multifamily as in like larger assets, but like duplexes, triplexes, Nate?
No. Duplexes, triplexes are fine. What I'm talking about is a 100-unit complex. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole because then what everybody does, they want to chase the glittery, shiny objects. And it's like going to the gym and you see the guy over there benching 400 pounds and you're like, I want to be like that. Well, there's a process to get there. I don't want you to get hurt along the way, so got to build you up for that. Go ahead, Donald. What you got, brother?
Yep. Okay. So,
hey, Donald, I want to say thank you too, man, for all the work that you pour in. I know Donald looks like he may be AI, but it's a real person. You look good today, man. That your camera. Did you upgrade? You got 4K?
No, I just got a haircut. It just makes everything look a little bit cleaner.
Man, so when Donald first joined our team, he had long hair. Where was your hair down to, man?
Close to my shoulders, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, go ahead, man. Let's do some questions, man.
Let's dive in. So Gregory on Facebook says, should you only burr up to 70% of the value or ARV of the rental, or pull out as much as possible, but I would think your cash flow would take a hit?
Why you care about cash flow? Listen, man, Like I don't want you buying a property that doesn't have cash flow, but let me just jump back over here to this chart here where the real wealth is made. Let me see. Do I got this 5-year roadmap in here? Where's my roadmap here? Look, here's where the real wealth is made. So what my goal is to get everybody in the academy to 30 units. Average basis is 150. You got 6 million worth of assets by year 5, because you're going to buy these in stages, right? You're going to buy 2 the first year, month 60. With 60 months left, you'll buy 1. 54 months, you'll buy your next. And here, I mean, it breaks it down. Like, we're really detailed and analysis driven. But the real key to understanding this is that your $6 million is going up because we're identifying these areas that need future demand. And we're using data. Like, we're using the data that, BlackRock and all the big guys use, man. We're looking at all this data. We're going all through the country. And you know what? I'll pull this up here. We're looking at the vacancy rate, the stabilize. I mean, we're looking at the median household income growth, because this is going to be a reflection of the appreciation in the area. Because when people go to qualify on properties, they're qualifying based off hold on, that closed out there. Let me see here. It's going to make me log in. Where's my other phone at? Hold on, y'all. I got to put my code in. 642. Hold on a second. 642. 332. And this data here is this is expensive, man. I think we pay about $1,600 a month for this data here, but this is stuff that we teach and share with our students here. This is all the data here, man. But if we go over here to our market reports and we can drill down, really, really get granular. I like to look at it in spreadsheet form. Hold on, it's taking a second to pull up. So remind me later. So we go over here to the list, right? And I want to know, what are the top appreciating household income growths in the country? Where is growth exploding at? Elmira, New York. Population growth is negative 0.3, but job growth is 2.1. Let's go look and see. So they've had an absorption of 27 units that weren't absorbed the year before. So relatively smaller market, but I would almost guess that looking at this here, without digging into the city, that they have some type of new industry that's coming there, and that is going to probably be a chip factory of some sort, or supply something for the chip manufacturing. And the reason why is because in upstate New York, that's maybe where Elmira is. Can somebody let me know if I'm right or wrong? There's cheap water. And so these manufacturing hubs need really cheap water to operate and cool them. Then we got Orange City. We got Midland, Texas, which is oil. That's a little risky right there, because that's boom or bust, right? But right now it's booming. So you want to be really cautious getting into that market, because the thing that's really expanding out is oil. I'd rather wait for this market to dip, oil to crash, and then come in and buy this and wait for oil to shoot back up, because you're going to get a heavy discount. So it's understanding where to buy, what to buy, and so much more, really looking and drilling down into that data. But as you start to look at the cash flow, what makes you wealthy over here is not the cash flow. It's here. These 6.57 worth of real estate is going to go to 8.39. That's where the real wealth is. And you'll be able to pull out 1.8 million cash out, right? Because your existing loan will only be 447. Now, this is year 10. Year 5, you're going to have 6.57. You're going to owe 4.402. You're going to pull out 528, right? And the good thing about this is you go borrow 75% at 66.3 million. You're paying off this loan and you're walking away with 1.8 million. You got a new loan for 6.3 though. Your rents have to grow as well. So if you're in an area where appreciation doesn't happen, you never get this 1.8 million. You never get this 528. Now, what I tell people, this 1.8 million, it's yours, but you're going to have to probably set aside 25,000 per unit. So all you really need is 30 units. 30 of these units here, you'll never have to work again. And because they'll bring you in about 12 to 15,000 a month in cash flow year 5, but by year 10, it's up to 18,000 a month in cash flow. You also have a bunch of principal reduction, which you guys know what principal reduction is, but the appreciation is the real thing. So if you own 8.4 million worth of real estate, and let's just say 8.4 million worth of real estate, and it's going up 5% a year because we bought in the right area. I mean, we're making 35,000 a month in appreciation. This is how you get wealthy. This is how I got wealthy. I didn't get wealthy off the cash flow. Cash flow just allows me to hang on to that asset. In reality, does that make sense, everybody? And here is why you're going to have appreciation. Because look, the government is going to continue to print more money, and that devalues the currency. As it devalues the currency, people also want raises. So if you can envision this in your head, right? Here goes M2 money supply. It's at 21 trillion. And in 2000, it was at 4.8 trillion. Now, why is it at 21 trillion? Because 79% of trades in the world are settled in US dollars. So the world needs dollars to settle trade in. If you want to go buy commodities, most of that stuff is traded in US dollars. Am I still? Oh, hold on.
No, you're good. Yeah.
Was I sharing my screen still?
No, not when you're talking about US
Oh,
dollars.
I'm sorry, man. I thought I was sharing my screen, everybody. So, so here's the debt clock here. So this is how much debt per citizen, per taxpayer. Here's the feds. Here's their revenue. Their tax revenue is going up. Why? Because the GDP is going up. Why is the GDP going up? So when this starts going backwards, that's when for 2 quarters, this means we're going to be in a recession. When we're in a recession, the government will drop interest rates. When they drop interest rates, you have to know how to take advantage of this stuff. So for those of you that haven't started, or maybe you're ready to scale, man, now's a good time to get in. Again, I'm going to ask you one more time. If you're looking for a mentorship, I can help you get prepared for the opportunities that are going to come ahead. But I'll tell you this, there's always opportunity. We never stop buying. Good cycles, bad cycles. We just know how to buy right. And how do we do that? Because we follow the math. We follow the math over here. And so apparently I'm signed out. But go ahead with some questions, man.
Yeah. So Bobby Pace is asking, do you recommend DSCR loans for novice investors less than 10 units?
Yeah, of course. The DSCR loans are fine. What DSCR loans are is the same as a bank loan. You may pay a little bit more interest, but they're not looking at your personal income. They're not saying, oh, well, you got your debt utilization. They're looking at the asset and they're saying, hey, man, I see that you can service the debt based off this asset's cash flow. And a lot of times these things are non-recourse, meaning that if something happens, not all of them, but a lot of these are non-recourse, meaning that you're not personally liable for these. So remember, when we're doing a BRRRR, we have no money in the deal. A lot of times we're getting cash back out. Okay. So the worst that can happen is you lose the asset, right? Now you don't want to lose the asset because then that was a waste of your time. But, I'm just, for those of you that are afraid to fail, like, look, man, you're going to fail in life if you don't get out here and do something. You will. Because ultimately, you're going to have to work and trade your time for money.
Yeah. I mean, you talk about that all the time. You and Mike, right? Like, choose your hard. Like, what's the alternative, right?
Yeah, yeah. And Jirius, I don't know if Jirius is on here. He's coaching. He's my first student, and Jirius has 30-something million worth of real estate now. And he started in 2015.
Yeah.
So this stuff is not by accident, man. It's by purpose. It is absolutely by purpose. And I saw Greg Burks in here, man. Is Greg around still? Greg is man, he's the indie president. I saw him in here commenting earlier. Greg, you still in here, brother?
Yeah, he's
Greg
here.
just got his first property. Now he's been in the academy 3 years. We all move at a different pace, but he just got his first deal, and he's making well over $100,000 off of it, man. And so kudos to him, man.
Yeah, man.
What's up? How you doing today, Greg?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
Doing good, man. Where you at?
Oh, I'm sitting at home in front of the TV.
Oh, okay. You watching Nate Barger on TV?
Oh no, my wife is watching some Chinese movie.
Oh, can you come up on camera or not right now?
Yeah, but I'm half asleep. What's up?
Man, you always have sleep, but you always half awake. That's all it takes.
Yeah, I
Nah,
know.
man. I was just telling them about like, so it's not always instant, like Greg, and just tell them about your numbers on your deal, man. It took you 3 years to get your first deal, but you stayed at it, right?
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
Greg,
I stayed at it. Um, my deal was, man, like I said, I always had properties and things that came my way, but I was really, really picky on what I wanted to get.
yeah,
Um, I could have jumped in head first, but like I said, man, I was really, really picky, and I wanted to find something that was going to be in an appreciating area. Um,
hmm,
yeah, it took me that long, but like I said, at the last Bird 360 conference, Jirius challenged me to saying, by the time you come back, you better have your next property.
yeah,
And like I said, I applied myself, and like I said, I went and found that property.
hmm,
Uh, that property, man, I paid 40 grand for it. But the ARV in that area for a 2-1 is going at about $195,000.
hmm.
Uh, but when I bought the property, found out it was a 3-1. So we ended up going in and changed it to a 3-2. So now my value is going to be up over 200 grand off of a $40,000 property that I just took my time to find.
Yeah.
Like
And
I was,
how much are you gonna? How much renovation are you putting in it?
man, with me and my guys right now, I think that our budget is going to come in under 30 grand.
So you're gonna be in it for 70, and it's worth what, 210, 220?
It's gonna be average have to be right around 210.
Man, wow, $140,000 in equity. Greg, have you ever made that much in one time in your whole life, man?
I did, but it took a lot of freaking work to do it.
Yeah, yeah. I ain't talking about when you was doing the illegal stuff. I'm talking about no, I'm just kidding, Greg. So Greg, like he said, he's really picky. And Greg met me. I think that was the first or second time I met you. I got a Hampton Inn over in Indiana, and Greg met me over there. And look, man, he is a perfectionist. And he was looking at some of our paint, and I was looking at it. He was like, "Nate, man, you got some hacks." And I was like, "Yeah, I know, Greg." He was like, "Man, you want me to come in here and fix it?" I was like, "Nah, we'll do it on Punch Out." But Greg is a perfectionist, which there's good with that. But sometimes, sometimes you just got to
It
jump
can be
in,
a curse
Greg.
at times. Yeah, it can be a curse.
You can be. But hey, I love you, man. Thank you for everything you're doing, brother. And I'll let you go back to Judge Judy or whatever you're watching.
All right, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you. Hey, and I'll see you at the Bird 360. Guess what?
What's that?
Got something special for all you presidents, man.
All right, man. I'm gonna try to make my way. My wife has been she's been on me, so yeah. I'm gonna make it happen.
Well, I got your VIP ticket, man. I got a show for you guys. I got a penthouse suite on the 14th floor of the cruise ship, and I'm inviting all y'all over. We're gonna have a good time, man.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate it, man. Like I say, guys, learn everything you can. Don't just jump in and do something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got to know where you're going, man. Well, tell the wife I said hi, man, and I hope to see you next month at the cruise.
All right, man. I appreciate everything.
Thank you, brother.
All right.
Yep.
All
So,
right. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, so Greg is, he's in his 50s, man. So it's never too late to start, never too early to start. We got 18-year-old, my son's 17. He's gonna be up $130,000 in the next 60, 90 days. This stuff is just, it's crazy how much money you can make, and that people will go work a whole year to make 60, 70, 80,000 and pay taxes on it. Go ahead. Go ahead
Yeah,
now.
Fred, I don't know if you're in the Zoom as iPhone or not, but no, not Fred, Gary. Gary on Facebook says, "What about a guy from Canada? Can I do this remotely? I work full time." And then also somebody says they're from Canada and they work full time. So maybe you're the same person in the Zoom as well, Gary. But Nate, what would you say for Canadians?
Show them our map of where we have students at, man.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me throw
Yeah,
it
show
there.
them this. So we got Canadians in here that are doing it. Now, some of them are partnering with people in the U.S. that are in the academy. And I know Brian, he's up there in Canada. He's doing burrs. You can do them, but Canada's a little bit different market. Canada, I can't tell you 100% that I understand the Canadian market as much, but yeah, we got, scroll back out. We got some people up in Canada, and they're active, man. And so, you got a bunch over there around Vancouver, just north of Seattle, and we got them over there in Hawaii.
Yeah,
So
up in there.
look, the burr, we got one over in Spain. We got some a bunch in Honolulu. I went out there and met with them last winter. So we got people, we got support all over the country, man. That's what we're doing, building a network of people all over the country. So go ahead. Next question, Donald.
Yeah, I would love for you to hit this, and I'm going to kind of lead you on this one a little bit. So Ellera says you guys Airbnb Burr properties too. And so could you talk just about how you kind of teach people to run the comp so that if short term doesn't work, you could also shift to long term, because some people might not even think about both sides of that.
Yeah, so you can do STR, but that's not what I teach, because what I teach is what I know. I own hotels, right? I own Marriott, I own Hilton, I own IHG, and I bought these hotels from scaling up, from buying single family homes to buying 4 units to buying. I went from a 4 unit to, I want to say I had a bunch of 4 units, bunch of houses, and then I got a 25 unit, then I got a 41 unit, then I got a 48 unit, then I got a 97 unit, then I got a 96 and 96, then I got like a whole bunch of units, and then I got the biggest one that I did was 346, and then we jumped in and did this year 568. So, you can scale, but you have to get the foundation, the principles down. And so I'm sorry, what was it? What was the question again, Donald?
Just if you Burr, if people can do Burr with Airbnbs.
So I do it all, but look, I don't understand STRs. I'm not going to underwrite a deal based off STR numbers and buy it. Because if the STR market goes to crap, I want to know that the local workers, if the government comes in and they say, hey, man, no more STRs, like, you're done.
Like in Atlanta, right?
Underwrite it as a normal deal. And if it works, then STR it by all means. But for me, I did an STR when I first, when Airbnb first came out, because I wanted to see if the proof of concept worked. It didn't work for me because of the amount of energy that we had to put into it. And the extra $1,000 a month we were making off the unit we were making $4,500 off a unit that we could rent for $1,600 or $1,800. But by the time I paid the cleaning fees, by the time I paid the gas, the electric, the water, the sewage, the alarm, the cable, the internet, cutting the grass, it wasn't worth it to me. The 4,500, I said, man, I'm making 2,600. It ain't worth it, man. I just rather rent it out for $1,600, $1,800 a month, because the amount of energy it took me to do one Airbnb took the same energy as running 10 or 20 properties. Now, to be fair, I didn't set up a lot of automations that they have today, but that's just, I'm not after the cash flow. I'm after the appreciation. I'm after that 35,000 a month in appreciation. I'm after that. I'm after those numbers, because those numbers, when you make a lot of money off Airbnb, you're paying taxes, income tax a lot of time. And look, man, I want to buy assets that are also going to give me tax benefits, and I want to scale rapidly and quickly once I get my systems in place.
Let's see. Christian Herrera says, I just joined, good community, excited for the future.
Excited to have you. Get on a coaching call tomorrow. I look forward to seeing you in there, man. We're gonna blow some stuff out tomorrow. We got 3.5 hour coaching call tomorrow, and it'll be recorded and put into the vault for any of our academy students.
Ryu says, how long end-to-end time for normal flipping projects?
I mean, here, I'll show you my son's here, and I'll show you his scope of work that he put together. He's 17. And let me see if I can find where he did this one at. Let me see here. That's not it. Right here, it signed me out. But this one here, I mean, demo, trash out, fixing foundation, framing, roof, plumbing, electric, exterior doors, windows, glass block, gutters, soffit, exterior paint, tuck point, HVAC. We got to put a new unit in out there, drywall, baseboard trim, tile backsplash, cabinets. And what else do we have in here? Interior paint, primer, concrete flooring, and a bunch of other items. I mean, hey man, I hate to tell you guys this, man. This is a 14-day project. Now, this is probably, if you're not doing this stuff right, it's probably going to take you 6 months to do this. But the systems and processes that we teach people to follow, the critical path method, I don't expect people to be this good. It takes some time, but understanding that you can and showing them that you can move this quick. We did a full gut in the academy in June, a full gut, and put back. It took us from demo to put back 42 days, and that was with all our inspections. And that was a framing inspection, gas inspection, fire blocking inspection, insulation, plumbing, which plumbing we didn't have to do anything. They was signed off on that. Drywall, you know, like health and safety, your final CO. So all of that was 42 days. If we didn't pull permits, we didn't have to pull permits, we could have got that done in probably 20 days, 23 days. It's all just knowing your systems and knowing what the things that are going to hold you up. Like what's going to hold you up? If there's something that's going to hold you up, like usually the two items that we know we got to get lead time on are going to be granite countertops. And so what we do, as soon as we hang drywall, we'll have them put first coat of mud in, and then we'll put the cabinets in before we paint, before we even do level 5 finish. That way the granite guys can get out there. Now, the downfall to that is that the drywall is mudded behind the cabinets, but you won't see it. And if you ever take them off, there won't be paint, so not a big deal. But we do that because we got a lead time on the granite, and we don't want that holding us up. And then the windows, of course, you got a lead time on them because you got to measure them. Unless you're, you know, like putting like, you know, if you're putting in builder grade from getting them off the shelf. But we're buying these old projects, them most of the time don't fit.
Benjamin says, what would you suggest for those who have absolutely nothing starting at square one? What should we do to get to a private mentorship? Is step one build capital?
No, man. Look, step one is knowledge. Because with knowledge, you can go make capital. If you're trying to make capital and you don't have knowledge, then you're just spinning your wheels, right? So like I said, the girl that just got in academy 3 weeks, 4 weeks ago, you know, it's not even really what we focus on, but we do teach you guys how to wholesale. We teach you how to find off-market deals, because this is a strategy that you're going to have to use. If you're going out to the MLS and trying to find deals, man, I'm not saying you can't find those. We have what's called hot sheets, and we show you how to access hot sheets in there. But a lot of times where the real money is to be made is finding these deals off market. And we have a strategy that we use to show people the delinquent taxes, you know, pull a list and give them the phone numbers and show them how to get a hold of these people, and show them to go out and how to offer, how to put the property under contract. What does a contract look like? Then if they got questions, we kind of walk them through that in our coaching calls.
Fred says, I have one house in my hood that has been abandoned by a person I know. I know where he lives. How do I approach him to buy his house off market?
That's a really good question. That depends on your relationship with the guy. That depends on his personality. You know, if he's a guy who probably wouldn't want to see you winning, I would send somebody else to approach him. If that's a guy who's like really cool, I would say, hey, man, look, I know this property is distressed, man. I want to put some money in your pocket, right? What can we do to make this a win-win, right? I know the city's on top of you, but first thing, you don't want to just buy a property without knowing what's driving the market. In other words, if that property you can be all in for $150,000, and 5 years from now, it's only worth, you know, what you started with. The roof is aging. The appliances are aging. All these things that are aging are going to need updated over time. And so if you get into an area, we call it the death spiral. You buy an area that's not going to appreciate, it's downhill. And I see so many people doing it. I see the guy on, you know, he's all over social media talking about buy Section 8, Listen, I'm telling you, the government guarantees your rent, man. No, they don't. Let me tell you something. They do not guarantee your rent, first off, okay? They guarantee a portion of it, okay? The tenant's responsible for the other portion. But here's the problem. If you go into abatement, the government is not going to pay you for that abatement time. And sometimes we went into abatement because we fixed the problem. The inspector came back out and the tenant broke it again or broke something else. We go into abatement, we lose that money.
What's abatement, Nate?
Abatement means that you're in abatement for Section 8. There's no guaranteed money from Section 8. You're in abatement, they will take that money and you will never get it. If you're in abatement for 42 days, those 42 days, even when you rectify the problem, you lost that money. You're not getting it back. That doesn't happen with the standard landlord. That happens with Section 8.
Wow. Jeez.
On top of that, when he's talking about you can buy these houses for 60 or 80,000, man, if you buying a house for 60 or 80,000, man, it needs work. And so the numbers, if you're buying a house that cheap that somebody's living in, it's probably run down, right? And so you're going to need 40, 50,000 to put in it. And if you put that money in the property and you put 40 in it and you paid 80 for it and it's only worth 100, you're done. And there's no appreciation. A lot of these areas that you identify like that are areas that have high Section 8 rental, but they have a lot of vacancy in the area because all the jobs left and nobody's fixing up these properties. So what happened is Section 8 will end up paying more because nobody wants to buy them properties, right? So I've been there. I bought in those areas before. And matter of fact, I still own some of those original houses in them areas, man. And I went down there last year to one, and I had to put $10,000 in just to renovate it and fix it back up. Now I did well. I bought the house, back in 2010, 2011, 2012. But I was like, man, if I put 10 grand in it, it just hasn't appreciated. If I would have bought that in a different area of town, it's worth 300. Over there, it's worth 120. It's on Baltimore Avenue, if anybody knows where that's at in Cincinnati.
David Woods on Facebook says, what's your recommended amount you need saved to start? Cold hard cash. Hate debt. Why start there?
I would tell you that like Jeremy said earlier, Jeremy didn't have any money. You need to become investable first, right? And, if you're not investable, then if somebody else isn't willing to invest in you, then you don't have enough knowledge. Now, I would tell you this. It's a lot easier if you have money. What Jeremy did was not typical. But what he did was he told you his secret was just, I'm going to learn and I'm going to get stuff done. That's what people do who want to succeed. But if you got 40, 50,000 in your IRA, if you can borrow from friends, if you can put it together, it makes it a lot easier. But we also have a program that we teach our students how to do. It's called credit card stacking. We show them how to get business lines of credit. And I'm buying this house that my son has right now. In my pocket, I got $93,500 worth of credit cards that I was able to get from credit card stacking in my business credit. So 0% interest for between 9 and 18 months. So I'll run that 0% out and I'll actually fund the project because I got another card coming for 25 grand. I'll fund a lot of the renovations. What I'll do is on the HUD, I'll put renovation funds on there and I can put these credit cards in to as they call plastic, I think. Now they're going to charge me 2.5% fee, but I'm paying 2.5% for money. That's relatively really cheap, right? And so it's learning how to utilize that. And I'm showing my 17-year-old son how he's going to buy. And I'm going to do a video on it. I'll create a video and show you guys how we're going to buy this house with no money. We're going to use credit cards to buy it. But you don't want to go doing that until you know what you're doing, man. Because if you do, it can be a spiral. It can just be bad. Yeah, 401k, you can borrow against that, Jeff Johnson. Absolutely.
John Doler on Facebook says, I bought my third deal with $0 of my own money and then wholesale the first two with zero out of pocket too.
Good job, brother. Good job.
Ronnie asks, can we still make money? This is in the Zoom. Can we still make money if we're working on our credit?
Jeremy ain't had no credit. 2013, I had credit. It was a 450 though, so nobody wanted to extend me any money. Like, listen, guys, everything that you don't have, somebody else has, right? Like if I couldn't, I wanted to have a wife and babies. I couldn't do that by myself. I had to find a woman that was that you know, to get married to have babies, right? So you got to think about what you don't have and say, man, what do I need? Well, I need somebody with credit. I need somebody with money. But if you go to them and say, hey, man, you got some money you want to invest in me? They're going to say, what are you going to do? I'm going to buy a piece of real estate. No. They say, I'm going to buy this type of real estate. Here's the numbers, right? Here's the type of area I'm looking for. Here's the type of appreciation. Here's what's driving that market. Here's the after repair values. Here's my construction costs. Here's my soft costs. Here's what I'm going to be all in it for. What I need your money for is to do the renovations for the down payment. And I got a loan already set up, fix and flip lender. And then I am going to either sell it or refinance out and give you your cash back. You got to show them that you have a clear path on how you're going to do that. Then at that point, you become investable.
T's iPhone asks, hey, Nate, can you talk about people living off of appreciation versus cash flow?
Man, absolutely. 2 weeks ago, I got a $7.5 million cash out refi on a property, right? You know, and I wasn't on mine. We had to pay some investors back and I had a couple partners I had to split money with. But, you know, that project right there has already paid us about $6 million in cash flow over the past 5 years and appreciated from 17 million to 45 million. You think I care about the 6 million in cash flow? I don't care about that, right? Why? Because we made almost 30 million in equity, right? And so it's called equity strip. And when I go pull equity out of a property, I don't have to pay taxes on that. Furthermore, the debt that I'm accruing on that property is a write-off on the property. Does that make sense, everybody? Wealthy people do not live off of active income. Wealthy people live off of assets. They go up in value. They borrow money against them because it's a tax-free event, right? And as the assets continue to grow, and they'll continue to grow because of a couple things that we have going on. And if we go back to here and we start to understand that what's happening with the government, what's happening with money, what's always happened with money, what's always happened with the value of real estate, you know, right here is what properties have actually went up in value, but with inflation, here's where they're actually at, right? So you got to understand the inflation game. You got to understand right here when this stuff was wasn't really inflating. Right here, we came off the gold standard. We started printing money. Look what happened. You know, and this is the reset that everybody's scared about right here. 2000. What if 2008 happens again? Well, I mean, I don't want to say, well, good, but I mean, then the people with knowledge will become super wealthy. They'll consolidate and get wealthier. The people that don't have knowledge will lose everything and get scared, right? So learn how to buy with emotion. Learn how to buy with numbers and not emotion. And here's the chart that you really need to be looking at. I'll show you. We can spot when we have an oversupply of housing. This is it. So look, long term, if we look at the vacancy rate, and let's go to the blue. This is vacancy rate, rental vacancy. Look at this. See the rental vacancy shot way up. We were overbuilt. We were at 11.1%. Look at this. We're about average here. Average where we've always been. We're right in the middle of the average. You see where we're at right now? We're right in the middle of that average there. So average, if you go back and you draw a line, we're almost right in the middle. We're not overbuilt. And then look, for houses, man, we're down here. We don't have enough because in the last recession, everybody stopped building. And guess what just happened? In 2022, when interest rates shot up, 2025, you still got some deliveries coming out. But after that, 2024, 2025, you're going off a cliff. Everybody stopped building again. So we're going to go through this cycle where we're going to have more pent-up demand. And with the government printing more money, what's that likely to cause? More inflation. And people are going to get paid higher amounts. And higher amounts, they're going to be able to afford more property, afford to pay more for property. And I mean, that's just the cycle. And when you begin to understand this stuff, it doesn't seem so risky. There's more of a data and science driven decision that you're making.
Ashley on Facebook asked, how do we join your class? So if you guys are on Facebook, Nate has a free training that you can if you just comment video in the chat, our team will send you that free video that kind of breaks down the 5-year roadmap in detail. And then
that's
also,
about a 30-minute video that I put together to explain to you guys how you're going to get there, right? And then if you like that video and you would say, man, I know this is for us. I need somebody to show me step by step how to do this. I need support. I need coaching calls. I need accountability coaches. I need spreadsheets. I need somebody I can ask questions to. I need somebody that can walk me through the process. That's what we really do in our mentorship. So again, if you guys are looking for, any mentorship, man, I can help you out with that too. Like I said, we got people all over the country doing this. This isn't fluke. This is absolute something that has people been doing forever. I've just got to tell you guys, I feel like I perfected it because I've had so many failures and I've learned what not to do along the way.
Ashley also asked, do we have to have a realtor estate license, real estate license to invest in real estate?
No, absolutely you don't. I've never had a real estate license. Realtors really they're just making money for trading their time for money. They want to go make more money. They got to go do more work. What I'm showing you how to do is create passive streams of income that will allow you to live around the world, spend more time with your kids. But I don't want you to think that this comes without some sacrifice. You're going to have to put some sacrifice in up front. You're going to have to. And if you're not willing to do that, then think about the sacrifice you're making at your job every day. And you're likely to be on that same path in 5 or 6 or 10 years from now. You're likely to be in the same situation. You're likely to be afraid every time there's inflation. When there's inflation and you own property, your property values are soaring. You're getting wealthier overnight. So this is a hedge against inflation. Rents are going up overnight, right? And so if you believe that there's going to be continued inflation in our economy, which is really the only way I see that we can get out of debt, then, this is something that can really help you out. You go on bacon's $12 a pound, but your property went up from, your value, your properties went up from 2 million to 2.5 million. You don't really care if bacon's $12 a pound, right? But you feel sorry for everybody who's paying, who's working to buy that bacon, and you think, well, what happened? Did the pigs eating more? Like, why did it go up so much?
Especially the crispy bacon.
Yeah, like are the pigs eating more expensive food? Like, why did it go up so much? It's because the way that our economy is built, it is built to erode the savings of the people in the United States, and it is built to really help people who own assets become wealthier, right? And so if everything stayed like this and nobody got a raise every year, everybody would be upset. So as you give people raises, companies have to charge more for everything. And then you have logistics, you have trucking, you have refrigeration, you have everything, the grocery stores, everything that goes along with that costs more, they have to pass that cost on. So whenever I hear politicians say, well, we're just going to raise taxes on corporations, what does that mean? You think the corporations, if I'm Lowe's and I'm in competition with a Home Depot and they raise the taxes on us, I'm just going to, it gets passed on to the consumer. So the more the government intervenes in things, the more expensive it gets for the consumer. But the consumers think it's the wealthy's fault. It's their fault. Well, they run off margins. And so I was looking at Home Depot made $151 billion in sales. And I think they brought, it was either 10 or 15 billion to the bottom line. They're running 10% margins, man. They're not running these ginormous margins. They're just, so in other words, they're making 10 cents off every dollar they bring in. Like none of us would work for 10 cents on every dollar we're bringing in. But when you get massive and you get that big, you can do that. You think that they're going to say, well, the government's taxing us more, so we'll just take a 6% margin? No, they'll just up the price on everything and the consumer pays for it.
Ashley said off your comment about the real estate license. Okay, thanks. Because when I went to school for my realtor license, but I feel like that was a waste of time because you have to give your broker commission off every sale, and I'd rather just invest.
Look, becoming a realtor is a good gateway to getting into real estate because you begin to understand a lot more about real estate and how it works. But it takes you years to hone that. If you want to learn in 90 days how you can buy your first property, just man, say mentor below, and I'm going to reach out to you, and we'll break down any concerns that you have, and see if what we have is custom tailored to what you guys are looking to get.
Man, I love this one, Nate. Hunter says, how do I make money? I'm 14 and have a car detailing business. How do I save my money and not be quick to buy the first thing I see? 14, man, that's awesome.
That's awesome, brother. I would tell you first off, man, congratulations. You're an entrepreneur. Enjoy your childhood though, because in 4 years, it'll be over. But learn to be responsible with your money too. Learn to get some things that you want in life, but ultimately learn how to make more money, Hunter. And so I believe that you can go out here and you can work with somebody who's an adult and you can find properties. And if you learn to find these properties, man, look, guys, the most I've ever made off of a wholesale deal was $1.3625 million, right? Now, that was a 540 unit complex, and there were 5 of us involved in that. So I didn't get all the money, but it's still a good payday. And I'm not saying you got to do that. Get your first deal that you make 2-3 grand on, because what'll happen is it's not the money, it's the understanding, breaking down the fear of not being able to do something on your own. And then you understand, you know what, I can do this. Your next deal, you make 5, and then you make 7, and you make 10, and you make 25. You become better and better, just like when you're detailing a car and you miss something, you become better and better and better. Don't change what you're doing for those of you that are in real estate and say, well, I've hit some bumps in the road, I'm going to go do this. Because what I find is when you're starting over something brand new, you're in the road there too. Stay the course, pick the goal, stick to the goal, understand why you're doing it. Those days when you're going to want to feel like giving up, get people around you that are going to help you, encourage you and say, hey man, that's normal. That's part of the process. Because if you don't have people around you and you got people saying, I told you were going to fail, you got to have people around you that are going to encourage you and say, hey man, good job. You failed. What did you learn from it? Because I'm telling you, man, when I get around people that are really wealthy, they don't care about failing. They don't look at failure as a failure. They look at failure as, well, what'd you learn from it? What are you not going to do next time? And that's why they become wealthy, because they don't get afraid and give up and go back and run back to their W-2.
Yes, sir is asking, can you BRRRR new construction properties?
Yeah, if the numbers work, the numbers work. The only thing with new construction is it's so expensive to build new now that and the learning curve is greater and the amount of things that can go wrong is greater. Unless you got experience in building, I would just do BRRRR. Like, I know how to build from the ground up, but I ain't doing it. I don't want to do it. It's way easier for me to go buy a project, turn it around in 30 days, have it on the ground and rent it. If I'm going to build a project, it's a 15 to 18 month project. By the time I, get through zoning, and then get my plans and permits and pick out the house. And I'm 3-4 months, 5-6 months doing that. Then I'm another 8-9 months building. And, so I'm at least 14, 15, 16 months if everything goes great.
Nairib on Facebook's asking, I've got 400K cash and having a hard time finding multifamily 10 doors or more. Any suggestions?
I know how to find those. I know how to find them all day, every day. But that's not what I want to cover in here. I want to talk to the people that are you're doing pretty well. You got 400K. I'll do a mastermind later for people that have probably in September, I'll launch it for people that have already become millionaires in my academy. And I'll show them how to become billionaires if that's what they want to do. But the deals aren't hard to find. You just got to know where to find them, what data to look at. And you got to know how to underwrite them. Go look at my Instagram. I did a live with my son earlier on a deal we're buying for we're buying it for I think we're buying it for $4 million. We're going to be in it for 5.9 and it's worth 9.2, 9.3. I did the numbers on it. This is a deal that I already bought back in 2014 for 1.45 million and sold it for 3 million. So I know the building well. These owners are in trouble though. They're out of state owners. They got Section 8. The whole damn 96 units is in abatement. They're not getting paid on none of them guaranteed rents that people talk about. None. So now the tenants are in there. They're not getting paid. They're in abatement. It's in bad shape. And I got 18 months it's going to take me to turn that around, move all the tenants out, renovate the units, and I'll keep some of the tenants in there strategically. There's 6 buildings, 16-unit buildings, and I will strategically go building by building, renovate them, paint them, clean up the outside first, get the pool back up and running. I already know this building because I already, like I said, I already bird it once.
All right, we'll do a couple more questions, y'all. So if you have a couple more, we'll drop them in the chat. Ashit is asking, I want to focus on Massachusetts, but I have property on Ohio that is under construction. So should I finish there first and then come back to Massachusetts, or how should I go for?
I really don't know because I don't know your financial position. I don't know what property you're doing. I don't know what your goals are. So I would have to know a lot more information really to help you come up with an understanding of that.
Boris is saying, I'm trying my best to learn all of this information at 17. Any tips I can to get started at this age?
Go follow my son on Instagram, Kayden, KAYDEN.Barger, BARGER. And I told him, like, man, you got to get on and do some more lives and some more videos and watch him. He'll be recording his first deal that he's doing, making over $130,000 off of.
Andreas is asking, I know I'll get there. I'm 30 years old. I just came to the US 4 months ago from Hungary because I have a plan so long to be a millionaire from real estate and give freedom for my future kids and for my girlfriend. But I'm not a citizen. It's pretty hard, but I don't care. I'll find a way. All the best, boss, and you guys. How would you start this adventure?
Start wholesaling, learn to wholesale, and get your citizenship. I don't know if you got a wife, sound like you got a wife and kids. Work on getting your citizenship. I don't know a lot about that. But you're here to chase the American dream. The American dream is alive and well, and you're going to be way ahead of many Americans because you know what it's like to really struggle, and a lot of them don't. And so when you hit something that they deem as hard, it's not going to be hard to you. Hard to you is probably what you've been through in life already. And so wholesale deals, I think you can probably wholesale deals. Now, I don't know about the laws and if you don't have your citizenship, but I don't think there's anything illegal about making money here. Find the people in your community to partner with. And if somebody has to, if you're not a national and you have to put it in their name and you go do the work and you do some equity split, like, I don't want to give you advice because I don't know about immigration law or any of that, but it sounds like you're bound and determined to get stuff done. You know, man, get around the right people, man, and you'll make money. But wholesaling deals is where you can make quick money at. If I would have knew this if I would have knew this when I was on the street, selling dope, I'd have just wholesaled houses, man. Maybe not, but you can make a lot of money doing
that. Greg Midas says, hey, from homeless to self-made here in real estate in Maryland. Love to listen to you, Nate. Keep teaching these listeners. Return my Facebook Messenger message. Gotta go.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man.
Rodney asks, in the mentorship, will you show us how to structure our business properties, LLC, trusts, holding companies, etc.?
Yeah, we go into that, but we don't really give out like too much legal advice because that's going to be different depending on your state. We have people we can refer you to that help you out with that, but it's different state by state, and we're not allowed to give you out legal advice. I can show you what I do, but I can't give out legal advice to say here's what you should do because it may be wrong for you based off your circumstances, based off your state, so on and so forth. But there are plenty of people in the academy that help people with that as well.
Yeah, guys, and I dropped Kayden Barger's Instagram in the Zoom chat too, if you're looking for that. Angel says, I'm here trying to learn the knowledge because I have none at all.
It's the place to learn, baby. It's the place to learn, man.
Jeremy Hughes said I wholesaled $49,000 in assignment fees since October, since joining BIA.
Yeah, that was Jeremy that was on earlier. So he grew his net worth. Is that the Jeremy Hughes that we got or the different? There's.
Nah,
Oh yeah,
it should be that Jeremy Hughes.
Oh yeah, that's him. Yeah. So yeah, that's Jeremy that was on earlier. So he makes some money wholesaling too, extra 50 grand he picked up since October. But the thing is that he realized the real wealth is in owning assets. It's not spending your time wholesaling. That's not really what you're after. That's good to subsidize your income. But Jeremy could go probably make 20, 30,000 if he really wanted to every month wholesaling deals if he wanted to. But he's focused on the bigger picture, which is wealth accumulation.
Very cool, man. That's all the questions I see right now.
Good, man. Because look, my cigar that was a good cigar. So look, man. We answered all your questions. If there's any more, I'll stay until 9:30, which is 4 more minutes. Man, I love you guys and girls, man. I just want to see you, change your family's future, really. And everybody that's in our private group, they want to see you do it too, man. I see Deshaun over here. Bring Deshaun up real quick. Hey, you got a minute, Deshaun? He's our Cincinnati president. What's up, Deshaun? How you doing, brother?
What's going on, Nate?
So we having a meetup Saturday, right?
Oh, yes. Super excited about that. The group is going crazy off your live on how to estimate a rehab. You do it in like 5 to 10 minutes. I'm setting the goal for everybody to be able to do it under 20 minutes. We're getting all of our contractor pricing on one spreadsheet. There's not going to be any question. It's great for wholesalers. It's great for investors. We're super excited. We're going to be there from 10 to 2.
I'll be down there, brother. And then also I've got an event that me and Ash, Ash Patel.
Yep, we're there Thursday as well.
You be there Thursday? Awesome, man. So I got to put this out in the group. We got a few tickets left. We're going to have about 200 people meet up over at, what is it, Oakley, some place in Cincinnati. We're all going to meet up and we're all going to network. So, I look forward to seeing you guys over there too, man. And then we'll pull a bunch of people in, Academy members, if they want to come over too. How many people you got coming over Saturday?
I'm shooting for 50. I'm trying to hit all 200 members. I mean, it's tough, but we try to get the word out and all this fun stuff. So yeah, we're trying to hit 50. I have a whiteboard for you and everything. So we're gonna be ready to rock. Everybody's bringing their tape measures. I have my computer. You have the whiteboard, and we're just gonna split up in groups and hit room by room, make it happen.
That'll be awesome. So if we could do this, we take them through. We break them into groups, 5 groups, 10 people a group. And have them go through this section, that section, this section, that section. We can get it done. I actually, when I first started the academy, I had about 50 people come in town, and I took them through an apartment complex that we were doing. We showed them exactly how to underwrite and do this deal in 17 minutes. I bought that property for $2.8 million in March of 22. Sold it for $9.65 million in 23. And I think I had about 4.8 in it. So, I mean, you could do the burr on bigger scales too. That's over there in Westwood, man, right off of Montana. It was a 66 unit on Montana, and it was 128 units total. So it was a 66 and 62 on Queen City. And we sold it to a group out of Canada that had like 25,000 units. So yeah, we made pretty good money on that. We just didn't want to hang on to it long term because it was too small. 60 units is kind of, what we look for is 200 plus units really, so we can set up our system in it. But man, that's what I'm gonna be showing you guys next, man. For those of you ready to scale and become billionaires, man, I got some stuff, man, that's gonna blow your mind in our mastermind that we're gonna be doing. But I look forward to seeing you over there, Deshaun. Thank you for everything you do, man. Appreciate you, brother.
No, we appreciate it. I'm still shopping for the crew, so I got a couple more outfits and I'll be ready.
Oh, you buying new clothes for the crew? Oh man, I might have to go get me some new clothes then.
Outfits? What does that mean? Speedos? Just what do you mean outfits, man? What are you doing?
Yeah, I got Speedo for every day of the week, so that's what 5 pair, right?
Yeah, hey man, I hope you ain't on my floor. No. Yeah,
All right,
I ain't
man.
gonna be at the pool too much, but we got a private event on a private island that we're taking you guys all to, man. The second day we got some amazing stuff that we're gonna be doing on this cruise, man. It's Allure of the Seas. It's out of Miami. It's 4 days or 4 nights or something. I don't even know. The 23rd through the 27th. If you guys don't have your tickets, man, to that, it's gonna be amazing. We have fun too. We don't just learn. We have a lot of fun and networking. And so look forward to seeing you Thursday and Saturday, brother.
Yep. I know a bunch of people are trying to figure out how to get there Sunday. We're trying to figure out which hotel we want to drop into before we board the ship. And then I know a couple of city groups are actually going to have their meetup on the ship. It's going to be live, man. Everybody's super excited.
Yeah, it's going to be nice, man. It's going to be awesome, brother. Well, thanks again, brother.
All right, man.
Man, love you, brother. I'll see you Thursday night. Hey, any other questions before we get off here, everybody?
Yeah, so and we'll give you guys one if you guys want the free training video that Nate created, just comment video below if you didn't get it yet.
Yeah, that's the 5-year roadmap. It just goes into detail and breaks down the numbers. And then again, man, one last time, if you guys want to hear more about our mentorship, you get on that call, and if you say I ain't ready, they'll give you some other videos that we got. Tell them what you're struggling with. We got a bunch of other videos, calculators, stuff that we can give you guys as well.
100%. And somebody from the Nate Barger team in the Zoom will send you a message with that information. Terrence had 2 questions about construction. He said, what advice do you have in putting together a construction team, and how did you navigate and master the rehab?
By trial and error, and by experience and understanding there's really nothing complicated about construction. There's really nothing. I mean, it's wood, it's drywall, it's screws, it's tape, it's mud, it's cabinets, it's, PVC plumbing pipe. It's the things that you got to check for your foundation. It's the roof. It's, Deshaun, you can tell them a little bit more, man, because you didn't have any construction background when you came in. You were a tech guy, right? And you were in the tech space for 20 years. Graduated from Northwestern, like very, very smart guy. Why would he want to get into this? And so, hey, can you pull him back up, man, so he can kind of tell them about,
Yeah, he's unmuted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry, you want me to comment about which part of the experience?
Just about he was asking about the construction process.
Just step by step. I mean, we have spreadsheets on how to do the construction line item by line item. I mean, everything from the amount of mud you need. We have a very clear framework. I mean, we're blown away when we talk to other investors who's been doing this for 10, 15 years of how much we know about construction. So we have line items like what order to execute in. You do your trash out, you do your framing, your HVAC, your plumbing, your electric, and then you do your drywall, then you do your outside, your windows, your doors. So, I mean, we got it down pat, and that's what this meetup this Saturday is about, is to make sure there's no investor left behind. Like, we're serious about that. And we even have people who don't have their first deal together yet. They're actually creating study groups. We call them the First Up Club, the first ones to get their deal. And they're because some people learn hands-on and some people love to learn in the group setting because they vibe off each other and then they hold each other accountable. But yeah, I mean, as far as construction, we got it down cold. I mean, we're rehabbing. We know what the maximum allowable offer is going to be. We have our spreadsheets. If you talking about a deal and you don't have your spreadsheet, somebody in the group is going to check you because it's step by step. If you don't skip the step in the process, you won't lose. You actually can't lose unless you're just lazy and you're skipping the steps.
Yeah. And then, so what do you got your drywall down pat?
Oh yeah. I got the drywall down pat. Square footage times 4.2 if it's 10-foot ceilings, 4 if it's 8-foot ceilings. No, 4.2 if it's 9, 4.4 if it's 10, 4.6 if it's 12, divided by square footage. No, divided by squares of the board. That's a trick that, the way I used to do it manually, and it used to take me forever because I had to measure the square footage of the room and the ceiling. So with that formula, to get all the boards you need for a single house is absolutely incredible. It's a game changer.
Now, you still want to do your takeoff, but
Yeah.
when you're analyzing the deal, you can literally figure out how many boards you need in 30 seconds, right?
Right.
And so how much are you paying a board right now?
See, you said 60 the other day, but I think you said, was that level 3 or level 5 finish?
That's level 5, but I mean, I said budget 60 a board, hang finish, drywall material, but we're getting it done for about 35 a board, hung and finished, labor, and then our material is going to be, probably 17 a board.
Okay.
That's going to be your nails. That's going to be your screws. That's going to be your nails because you will need some nails for when they're hanging the cylinders just to put it up there before they put the screws in.
Right.
And you need your buckets of mud and you need your tape. So, we're about $17, $18 a material, 35 to hang and finish. I got guys that'll do it for 32, but I like to pay the guys a little more. They do a little bit better job and they get done quicker.
Yeah, I love it when I get to drywall because everything just seemed to fly after that. Like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
roughing, it seems like you know, you run in the clock, but I gotta really tighten up my critical path. Just putting the things that take a long tail, getting those ordered up front. But every project I get excited because I want to do it better than the way I ran the
You want to
previous.
do it better. You want to do it quicker. I mean, I want to do like mine is like 14-day record, but I mean we do 1 day turns, right? We
I
do
saw
one,
that
we do turns in 1 days on our apartment complexes and
with the tenant in it. That was crazy.
with the tenant in place, new granite countertops, new cabinets, new
That was
flooring, new
crazy.
doors. We add in, we don't paint it though, and we don't put carpet in our back bedrooms. But we put new LVP flooring, quarter round, new doors, new door hardwares, new vanities, new mirrors, new lights, new door handles. Um, that was that takes a lot of organizing. And I'll bring you out to our project, one of our projects that we're doing. If you want to see that happen, next time we have a 1 day turn coming, I'll bring you out there, man. It'll blow your mind.
Yeah, I got to see that because that's inspiring. I mean, the fact that everybody have their pricing and they know what they should be getting, no one's going to in our group going to get taken. My neighbor, and I posted that in the private group, paid $30,000 for a roof. I just ran over there and got the contact information for the subs that they came out and actually did the work.
You got the same subs as he paying. What are you paying them? What do they want to square?
I don't know yet. I got to call David. I got to call him.
Well, I got a roofer if you need one. He's going to charge you 95 a square to tear off, put back, 95 to 105, and that's including the dump. That's one story. If you go up second story, he's going to charge you $10 more. If it's 2 layers, he's going to charge you $10 more a square. And he's got his own dump trailers. He's in and out in a day, man. And then you negotiate your wood on the front end, $20, $25 a board, or if it's one buys, depending on what the roof has, negotiate all that up front. That way you don't have a roof that's wide open and you're arguing with a guy about how much he's going to charge you to put the wood in.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
So let me know, man. I already got the guy here in Cincinnati, man. He'll knock it out for you. And then we get second shingles for $20, $22 a bundle.
Yeah, I need to get that contact.
That's economy shingles right down on Spring Grove.
Okay.
Yep. Ask for Sean. Just tell him I sent you, man. He'll take care of you, brother. And literally, if you call him at 9 o'clock in the morning, he can have it out the same day. But if you call him at 9 in the morning, you get it set for the next day. Like literally, if I needed the roof done tomorrow, I would just tell my guys, hey man, get there at about 11. I'll have everything there. I'll call Sean in the morning. I'll get the stuff there. By 3 o'clock, the roof's done, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, all right. Thank you for that, man. And thank you guys, man, again for tuning in. Thursday at 12 o'clock, use this same link. Thank you, Deshaun, man. I'll see you Thursday night, brother. We're gonna have a good time over there. Thursday at 12 o'clock, use this same link. And Jerry's going to show you guys how to find off-market deals. And you're going to love that, man. And Justin Tarragano, he said, can anybody come to the cruise? Yes, any of you guys can come to the cruise, man. You'll see the energy. You'll see the excitement. You'll see the knowledge. Donald, can you drop the link for the Bird 360 cruise in here?
Yeah, you want me to do the link that we just did, the new one?
Yeah, do the new link in here, and your ticket is included in the cruise. If you book through this link, it'll take you straight there. Your ticket to the event is be included in there. So you got to use this link though, man, so we can, track and know everybody that's coming on board. And because you're gonna have a card, and your card is gonna allow you special access into places that it won't if you just book without the cruise. We got to have you on our itinerary.
Awesome.
All right. No more questions.
We're good.
All right. Hey man, love you guys, man. Thursday, 12 o'clock. And then again, 7:30 next week. Bring your questions. For those of you that are going to be going through that video, go through that video, the 5-year roadmap. I want to get a little bit more detailed with all of you on your questions. And then for those of you that are, that got a call scheduled to get in a mentorship, also, man, if you decide maybe you need more questions about it, just get on a call next week. Let me know what kind of questions you got. But if you're ready to go, man, I'm telling you, we're not going to let you guys down, man. Deshaun will tell you that. Anybody in the academy will tell you that.
Awesome. We will see you guys next week, Tuesday at 7:30 Eastern, obviously. And then, as Nate said, Jarius's call is going to be noon this Thursday at noon Eastern. Have a good night, guys.
Yep. Thank you, guys.